He's back, y'all. And it was good. It was very good. Let's talk about last night's Monday Night Raw. Becky Lynch opened the show. She cut a promo on Shayna Baszler. Of course, Baszler absolutely dominated the Women's Elimination Chamber. At Elimination Chamber. Redundant, but we have to say it. And of course, Becky will now face Baszler for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. This was a very good opening promo. Becky Lynch is still fun. You know, you will see a lot of, people that like to analyze the show, such as myself. And we're not all professionals, but some people are saying that they have soured on Becky Lynch, that Becky Lynch just doesn't have it anymore. And I don't think that's true. Becky Lynch is still fun to watch. She still holds control of the crowd. She's still over. People still love her. It's just fun. And it's a testament, what we're watching here, the story that we're building for or from, would be a fall from grace. Becky Lynch has been Raw Women's Champion for almost a year. And while she's still over and fans love her, she certainly has a certain confidence, a certain cockiness to her. And of course she should, because she's defeated everyone in the Raw Women's division. She's held that title for a year, and she started off that year by beating Rowdy Ronda Rousey at the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. I was there. She has reason to be cocky, to wear crowns, to act all swaggery, because she is dominating. And up until Shayna Baszler, she didn't really have somebody that could match up to her. Still, last night on Raw, Becky grabbed the mic and she said, "I'm the bitch that runs the division." But will that change at WrestleMania? Probably. And when it does, Becky's gonna have to realize that she's gonna have to do it all over again. And it's a beautiful story to do. It's a very easy one to write as well, which is perhaps why WWE is doing such a good job at telling it. Becky Lynch is flying too close to the sun. It's not hurting her with the fans. It's certainly not hurting her with me. It's not hurting her with the WWE Universe in general. But she's gonna meet her match in Shayna Baszler, and it's gonna be very, very interesting to see their match at WrestleMania. I'm excited. Before we move on, Shayna Baszler was referred to as the Cage Fighter, and the nickname, the Cage Fighter, is being pushed very strongly by WWE. Becky Lynch used it in the promo a couple of times. Michael Cole used it on commentary. They're using it on social media, and it's not a bad name, the Cage Fighter. It's not a bad nickname to have. But Shayna already had a very good nickname, the Submission Magician. It was beautiful, it rhymes. And she tapped out, she choked out every single woman in the Elimination Chamber. Why not call her the Submission Magician? I don't really know why go with the Cage Fighter over the Submission Magician, but to each their own, I guess. Garza versus Mysterio, what a match, chef's kiss, beautiful, 5 stars. These two could just do no wrong. And here's the beauty of it. WWE has on tap a set of incredible Latino stars in Garza, Andrade, and Humberto Carrillo. And they know they have great stars in those three. And Rey Mysterio knows that they're all great stars. And he's making sure to put them all over, because Mysterio knows that if he were to be absent one day from WWE, like he was for a little bit, there will be no top Latino star to carry the company. And it hurts. It hurts when you don't have a Latino in charge of carrying your fan base south of the border, because representation matters. And I'll give you a very quick story about why I'm standing right here, why I'm wearing this t-shirt, and why you're watching my video. When I was 10 years old, I started watching wrestling at a local TV station in Puerto Rico called Guapa Televisión. They air SmackDown every Saturday at 6. They used to air it Sundays at 10 when I started watching it. One Sunday, I'm channel surfing, there was no school the next day, and I find SmackDown, and I see the WWE Tag Team Champions, Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. Mysterio with his mask, Guerrero with his swagger, the lowrider, the little tiny camera that Mysterio used to hold while he was making his entrance. It was beautiful. And then they got in the ring, and they did their thing, and it was impressive. And I turned over to my sister and I said, "We gotta watch again next week." And we did. And here we are, 15 years later. My sister is not much of a wrestling fan nowadays, but she still loves Rey Mysterio, because that was the man that made us fall in love with wrestling. And if Rey Mysterio were not wrestling that night, I probably would not be a wrestling fan right now. You need representation. You need Latinos that can help get people outside of the United States to get on board with the brand just as much as you need people from all over the world, because it's called World Wrestling Entertainment. Mysterio is doing a fantastic job in showcasing Angel Garza, in showcasing Andrade Cien, in showcasing Humberto Carrillo. This is the strongest Latino roster that WWE may have. Angel Garza, a freaking star. Knows his character, knows his place in the ring, knows how to work a crowd, and dude, that character can work as a heel or as a face. I am in love with him. He's amazing. So is Andrade, and Andrade has some serious great coaching from Charlotte and Flair. I think the future of WWE in the Latino market is gonna be just fine. Charlotte Flair came out to do a promo on Rhea Ripley. Before this, they show a little video of Rhea Ripley walking around Raymond James Stadium where WrestleMania is going to take place. Of course, that's the benefit of NXT being in Florida. They can do a little trip, which is about an hour from Orlando, to take a look at the scene and present this. And I think the best bit in the entire little video package that they show for Rhea Ripley was Ripley saying that when she debuted in WWE, she got comparisons to Charlotte. And she was told, oh, you look too much like Charlotte by fans on social media. And that inspired her to change her image and become the Rhea Ripley we know and love today. What a hell of a story to tell that one is. And then Rhea Ripley comes out after Flair. You know, Flair she's a master at this. She knows how to work this. She does the work all by herself in the ring with the mic. And then Rhea comes out. She's got pyro now. Awesome. She comes out, she gets in the ring, and she just slaps Flair down. And Flair's sitting on the canvas going like, wait, what? And Rhea just kind of like smirking from the apron of the ring. Just beautiful. It's just great storytelling, which is, you know, kind of baffling if you think about it. I don't want to get into what's going on with SmackDown because we're not reviewing SmackDown, but what the hell's going on SmackDown? You know, the Raw Women's Championship, the story for that match started just recently, but it's fire and it's entertaining. And Rhea and Charlotte, entertaining story. Wonderful thing to watch. And then on SmackDown, we're 3 weeks away from WrestleMania, and we don't know who's facing Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. What the hell's going on down there? Somebody needs to get their house in order and put the pieces where it needs to be, because the two top stories going into WrestleMania for the Women's Championship, which are Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, Shayna Baszler, awesome. And then SmackDown is on the curve, along with the Women's Tag Team Championships, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Drew McIntyre, Eric Rowan. Last week in Brooklyn, you could feel the audience. I was in it, and I will die saying it over and over again. We were in the audience watching, and you could feel everybody get deflated when we saw that what was inside Eric Rowan's cage was a giant spider. But at the same time, what else could it have been? Like, sound off in the comment below, what possibly could Eric Rowan had in that cage that would have been satisfying to watch? The answer is pretty much nothing. But this week, Drew McIntyre comes out and he takes out Eric Rowan in a quick match, quicker than the one that they had last week. Last week after Raw went off the air, they had a match. It was very quick, just one Claymore and Drew won. But this week, they had a somewhat competitive match. And Drew took it upon himself to kill the spider inside the cage. And I said it on Twitter, and I'll say it again, nothing will get a babyface over more than pointing out that a storyline sucks or ending a storyline that sucks. It worked for Kevin Owens when he grabbed the mic and he was like, you know, Shane McMahon kind of sucked. It got him over. So it always works to put a babyface in this position. I wrote this on Twitter as well. It's very baffling to me how great this Drew McIntyre push has been. And it's just not, you know, dating from the Royal Rumble forward. I can take this back all the way to December. I remember the night where Drew McIntyre grabbed the mic and he seemed a little bit more loose. Perhaps it was like a less scripted promo, but he came off really well on it and the crowd got really behind him. And I was like, did they just turn McIntyre face? Not only did they do that, they have been carrying that momentum since December. And we're still 3 weeks away from WrestleMania. The dude has been turned into an honest-to-God babyface star. And I'm so happy for him because it's well-deserved, because he's been waiting for it for such a long time. To see him finally achieve this moment is just incredible. And I hope, of course, it's all topped off by a huge victory at WrestleMania. Edge. My favorite wrestler. The Rated R Superstar. He came back. I'm gonna read you. I have my little notes here for the show. I am gonna read you my notes verbatim as I wrote this, as I watched the show. Main bullet point says, Crazy Edge. Then some other below points say, he's pulling his hair back, he's acting insane, he hit the RKO, 2 concertos, and then the last one says, I'm in love. Those are my notes for the entire Edge segment. But seriously, in all seriousness, there is no better story on Monday Night Raw right now than Edge and Randy Orton. And I would have called you crazy if you would have told me this 10 years ago. What is happening? This is so good. The video package. Oh my god, the video package. Just like using footage from like early 2007 when they were tag team champions. And then Orton talking to Beth Phoenix last week. I knew the video packages for these matches were gonna be good. Oh wow. They're so good. And then Edge comes out and he kills MVP. And then he hits an RKO on Randy Orton. And Randy's like, wait, what just happened? And then he does 2 concertos on MVP. MVP was the perfect foil for this. I really like where MVP is at as a character right now. Because he can come out, get hit, and get murdered. And that's so good. Edge just like pulling his hair back going like this. Reminding me of why I fell in love with his character in the first place. Whew! Injected into my vein. That match should main event WrestleMania, by the way. Let's move on. AJ Styles and The Undertaker. What's going on here, man? What? Why am I not into it? Okay. So AJ Styles comes out. He grabs the mic and he says that this is all Michelle McCool's fault. And then he's like, ooh, we know. Wow, we're breaking the 4th wall. Hey, Cole Cabana, how you doing? He's breaking the 4th wall. He's saying that The Undertaker and Michelle McCool are married. And this is somehow Michelle's fault. He doesn't say why. He just says that it's Michelle's fault. Then he goes on to say like, The Undertaker is a shell of himself. I'm gonna destroy the Mark Calloway. He uses his real name again, breaking the 4th wall. Hi, Cole Cabana, how you doing? So he cuts his promo, and I still don't understand what's going on here, because AJ himself is a veteran. Like, if this promo were coming from a very cocky, young wrestler, like, say, Aleister Black, it would make sense, because it would be a young upper-comer who is making their way in the business and wants to, like, kill the legend of The Undertaker. But then AJ is a legend. He's a 3-time WWE champion, former United States champion, it's IWGP champion, TNA champion, Ring of Honor champion, has been doing this for over 20 years himself. So what the hell is AJ Styles talking about? And like, even if you get past all of this, the main point for any Undertaker story, in my case, it's the spooky shit. Just have The Undertaker do spooky shit. Scare AJ Styles to death, shoot thunder into the ring, make AJ Styles and the OC fall down. But next week, we're getting a contract signing. Why couldn't Undertaker make the trip from Philadelphia to Washington DC to scare the hell out of AJ Styles last night? Again, just a little thunder. Just do a pre-tape. Do a pre-tape of him like saying like, I'm gonna murder you, and then boom, thunder falls. But no, none of that happened. AJ talked about Michelle, talked about Taker's real name. Next week we're getting a contract signing. Let's move on. We got baited again. You know, WWE knows that they have a lot of good potential matches with Aleister Black. And they keep putting them on Raw, like last week when we got baited into thinking that AJ was going to face Aleister. And then they don't happen. This week, the Messiah, Seth Rollins and his disciples got involved. And Black got attacked. The match ended up in disqualification. And we ended up with an 8-man tag team match that leaves me with more questions than answers. And I like Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw has done a great job on the road to WrestleMania. But there are some people who have like very clear stories, and there are people who are still in limbo. And we're 3 weeks out from the show. I don't think you should be in limbo when the show is so close. And the people that I'm referring to are the Raw Tag Team Champions, plus the AOP, plus the Viking Raiders. Here's the thing. I wrote on Twitter, my last tweet last night after Raw went off the air was this. There has to be a way for Rollins and his disciples to be on the top of the card and the main attraction of the show, but without sticking them into these repetitive 8-man tag team matches. Because we've been seeing a version of these 8-man tag team match non-stop since January when they formed. I think it was January or February, something around like that. And, you know, it's been like over and over and over. No, it was January because they interfered in the Royal Rumble. So we've been seeing these like random 8-man tag team matches with like the face team is the one that changes. The heel team is always the same. There has to be a way. We got to keep them together, but also separate them a little. I propose the idea of like having Seth Rollins be in the world title picture, and then Buddy Murphy could be in the US title picture, and then the AOP could be the Raw Tag Team Champions, and have it be like an evolution kind of thing where they hold every championship on Monday Night Raw. We need to like spread them out throughout the show and like convince us that they're a force to reckon with, that they're running rampant through all 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. Enough of these random 8-man tag team matches. Also, where are the Street Profits going? Where is AOP going? Where are the Viking Raiders going? Because we know that KO and Rollins are going to have a match. Rollins already challenged him to one, and he said that KO could pick the stipulation at WrestleMania. So like, we know that's a lot, but then everybody else, all of the other 7 people in the match feel like, lost in the shuffle. We need a little bit more clearance on where the disciples are headed, other than, being in the corner of Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And that's it. That's Monday Night Raw. Another solid show. Another B+ show from Monday Night Raw on the road to WrestleMania. Very little things are wrong with Monday Night Raw. I like where almost everything is headed, save for perhaps AJ Styles and The Undertaker. Every top match that Monday Night Raw has put together towards WrestleMania makes sense, has a compelling story, and is exciting to watch. It's WrestleMania season, y'all, and while it may not seem like it on SmackDown, Monday Night Raw is surely driving us straight to Tampa, even if there's no crowd in the arena. If you like what we're doing here on the Wrestling Space with these reviews, you can go ahead, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and share with your friends. My name is Kerby Rodriguez. You can follow me on Twitter at @it's_Kerby, and we'll see you here for some AEW on Thursday.